Hey, it's Dave here, another Nerdy Canuck. Just wanted to let you know that I found a video from my old channel. It's about 5 years old, but it was really popular, and since I'm shutting that channel down, I thought I would include it on this one here. So here's a video from 2017. Hope you enjoy. Thanks. Okay, so this is my Eheim Pro 2 2028. It is leaking, and as you can see, I got it in a little tray, and this tray is got a little pump in it because it fills up. That's about 12 hours worth. And I keep coming down and filling it up. And it's leaking. And if you look right in here, you can see, kind of dark, but the water's coming from the inside. So I've actually pulled all the lid off and put silicone lubrication O-ring grease on all the O-rings, and it still leaks. I actually had a leak on the ABS fitting as well. So maybe I'll zoom in on this. And right here, you can see there's some ABS glue there because that fitting was leaking as well, and I fixed that because it was cracked and leaking out there. But anyway, I've got some new O-rings, and I'm going to replace them. Hey YouTube, this is one of my first videos, so you have to bear with me. This is going to be a change out of the O-rings on an Eheim Professional 2 2028 model. And it's been leaking, and I tried putting some silicone O-ring lube on it, and it didn't seem to work at all, so I took it all apart and tried to fix it, but it still leaks. Basically, it fills up the housing right here and leaks out over the top, so it's not the gasket on the underside that's leaking, because it's coming out through the top. So I'm going to take it apart and get some O-rings. These O-rings were all purchased online from the O-ring store. Not sure if you can read that all right, but it's a great little place, super cheap, and I'll give you the dimensions. These ones are 4.5 by 92 millimeter, and I got some 3 by 25 for the double tap connector, and then some smaller ones. Minimum quantity of 7, that's why I got so many of them on some of these, but super cheap. Shipping was a little expensive to Canada, but that's all right. So I'm just going to start taking this apart. Use a drill at your own risk. We got 2 screws on the top. And then there's 3 or 4, screws on the bottom. And then you should just be able to lift this top piece off. And you can see what that looks like. And then we need to pop this top piece off here. So we got 3 more of these screws here. That's the same as the ones that were on the underside of the lid. And this comes out, so you can see how this whole interior is all wet. So it's either leaking around this O-ring here, or around this O-ring here, or from the double tap connector. So I'm just going to replace them all. There's springs in here for the priming button, and then I'm going to remove a couple more here for the power cord. Alright, and you should just be able to I'll take these springs out. So push that right down through. Okay, so now we've got this apart. We can also Don't break it. And pop this bad boy off. Okay, so I'm just going to do some cleaning here. And pop these O-rings off. Nice and tight that one was. I'm going to replace it with a 2.5 millimeter by 12 millimeter. As you can see, old versus new. I'll set the old over there out of the way. Take a nice new one. Apply a little silicone lubricant to it. And slide on. And pop this bad boy back in place. Okay, so that's that part. Next up, we have to replace this one. It's very soft. This is with a 4.5 millimeter by 92 millimeter. These are all Buna N O-rings. And again, you can see that these sizes are pretty good. And again, we will lubricate. I'm sure you can see that okay. I know some people use Vaseline on this, which I suppose is okay. Some people think that does deterioration over the years. But for the price of these O-rings, they're just pennies a piece. If you have some on hand, it wouldn't matter. I like to use the good stuff. It feels much sturdier than the very soft O-ring here. I'm thinking this is where I was leaking. Right. So I put it back together, and I'll also replace the double tap connectors, which are on the double tap, which goes in here. And hopefully that will clear up my problem. So we'll just reassemble. Okay, so you have to lift this piece out. I tried putting it in the other way, but it just doesn't go very well. So it appears that the best way to put it in is from the top. So I'm going to make sure this is lubricated fairly well with some silicone lube. Oh, it's got a nice tapered edge on this side too. Of course. That makes so much more sense. I've seen that somewhere in a video, someone else do this. Okay, so how nice this goes. Very fortunate to get that in place. Once that slides quite smoothly. Upside down there. That is good. That's fine. Push it all the way through. I'm going to try to remember it there. Okay, it's going to take a fair bit of force to get this in. Excellent. Then we'll turn it to line up. So we got this lined up nicely. There, that clip. Snap that back in place. Beautiful. Okay, so now we put it all back together. Okay, so it has been almost 24 hours since I did my seal change. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but it is bone dry. Not a single drop of water has spilled. There's no water leaking over into here where it was coming out before. So all it is, I changed the two O-rings in the cap, the primer O-ring and the flow indicating O-ring, and then the two double tap connectors. And upon inspection afterwards, they definitely were worn, and these all fit much snugger now, and it is a success. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Thanks so much.